Well, my full name is William Henry Frick, but I get Bill sometimes, but most of the time I get Whitey. Started lacrosse right here in St. Catharines. I was only 10 years old when we moved from Peterborough. We moved to West St. Catharines, and the neighbor by the name of Jimmy Joy, who's well known in St. Catharines for his training of all the teams and that, he came over one day and asked my brother and I, would we be interested in playing lacrosse? So we said, well, yeah, we'll give it a go, and we both made the Bantam team. I was 1938, so I'd be 11 years old. And then the family moved to the north end of St. Catharines, and my brother and I, we joined the Tecumseh organization, where we played midget lacrosse, midget and juvenile. And then the Tecumseh organization didn't have a junior team, so when we went to junior, we played for junior athletics. Oh, I have a lot, but it's just a lot of memorable moments where playing, although I didn't play much, just being on the bench with some great lacrosse players that were my heroes growing up in lacrosse. Well, there's Bill Whitaker and Joe Cheevers, which a lot of you know what, Jerry played hockey for Boston. And these fellows all had a skill of their own. Cheevers was probably the best centerman around in Ontario, and Whitaker goaltender. Great goalie.
Yeah, well, you were a goalie, right?
Well, that's why I wasn't too good at either. Because one year I'd play goal, another year I'd be a forward.
Oh, you played both? I didn't
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like some games I played senior forward.
Yeah.
The games I didn't play goal. I played every position.
Wow.
But that's the team of the junior 1946 junior athletics. I'm in the middle here because I played goal the whole year there. In the following year, 1947, I was a forward on the Minnow Cup team. This is 1946 Man Cup played in Maple Leaf Gardens. And I was a backup. Although I played junior in 46 as the goaltender, Bill Whitaker and Doug Favell, who just came back from the service, they were split the goaltending all year long. And Whitaker was under suspension by the CLA, so they asked me would I come and be the backup in the Man Cup series. This is the 1944 Man Cup team there. This is a scroll I got that was presented to me from the St. Catharines Junior Lacrosse Association. And it's St. Catharines Rich in Lacrosse History, Player of the Decade. And I was chosen or picked Player of the Decade for the 1940s. Every team seemed to have star players, 3 or 4 star players, eh? And playing outside in an outside bowl, yeah. That had a lot to do with the popularity of lacrosse.
Yes.
You take outside bowl a nice summer night, you had that crowd cheering. You didn't get an echo from inside. You had the crowd right there and all that. And it was good lacrosse, real good lacrosse. A lot of the goalies then used to travel up the floor quite a bit. They didn't have that big equipment on today because they played like this. Their stick did the stopping. I see a great future for lacrosse. Although I'm not involved with minor, but I understand minor lacrosse is really growing. It's getting more popular. Yeah. Trouble is with lacrosse, it don't have the money behind it because it's a good sport. I played a lot of hockey, but I prefer lacrosse. Well, we thought it did. Because the ball came towards the head, we ducked. And, when I was playing minor, I don't think I came up to the top of the goal post. They put the rule in about lacrosse helmet. Yeah. They first put the mask in. Bill Whitaker, they told him he had to wear a mask. And Bill said, no way am I going to wear a mask. Well, it's a rule, you have to wear a mask. So Bill goes out there with the mask on. The game starts, he puts the mask on top of his head. There was no rule, Satan, where he had to wear the mask. And if I remember correctly, he got away with that. Until after the next day or so, they were notified the mask had to be worn in front of the face. Let's have knocked silly a couple of times.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting hit up in the ear a couple of times. Yeah. Well, out of town, I can remember a couple of good players. Roy Mortimer, both the goaltender, played for Mimico. He was an excellent goalie. And I can remember the Gare brothers, and the Dixon, Kenny, and can't think of the other name. They were excellent. They were players that stood out that you recognized. And St. Catharines, as I mentioned, Bill Whitaker had to be one of the best, him along with Roy Mortimer, goalie in Canada. And Joe Cheevers had to be one of the best centermen. And as mentioned, Whitey McMahon ragging that ball. And a fellow by the name of Billy Fitzgerald. His father is in the Lacrosse Hall of Fame for playing field lacrosse. Lacrosse has been real good to me. It did good to my family, my brother, my dad, and that, and it's a great game, and I hope it can get greater.